You are listening to KDUX Web Radio, broadcast live from Richland College in Dallas, Texas. We are the voice of Richland College. Hello, this is Super Chopsticks Radio. I am Ezra White, and I don't know what semester this is. I lost count. Oh, well. Someone knows. I don't know. So, yeah, I've been here long. But anyways, let's go right in. It is the month of January of the year 2018, Year of the Dog. Woof. But anyways, yeah, I love dogs. Today is January of the month. It is the 19th day of the Gregorian calendar, and today is the National Popcorn Day. I like popcorn. It's okay. It's not my favorite snack, but yeah, it's good. I mean, I see movies, so I never buy it. I eat hot dogs when I'm in the theater. Yeah, it's one of those weird things, but yeah, it's always easier to eat. It seems like it, at least. And it is also National Tin Can Day, which that actually is funny because this today makes me think of my mom because she loves popcorn. I bought her a popcorn maker for Mother's Day, and it's one of those like legit ones where like you put the kernels in like the back, and then it has like this hot air starts blowing, and they all start floating, and then they fly over into this thing. And then I thought, hey, that's really weird, Mom. Why do you want this? And she's just like, I didn't want it, you guys, because it was on sale. I'm like, that's right, that's why I bought it. So yeah, but anyway, she eats popcorn. She likes it, and then of course she doesn't finish it, and then she's like, here, eat the rest of this. I'm like, okay, Mom. So hey, I'm eating popcorn. But then we have tin cans, which makes me think of my mom because she collects bottles, which tin cans and glass bottles are two different things, but hey, it's one of those things that, what are you going to do? I made a coherence, and that's how it went. This month, actually, is National Bath Safety Month. Well, that's good for me, because I take a shower, so there's nothing safer than not having to take a bath. But anyways, I guess, like, the bath in general is, like, the tub? So, yeah, you gotta be safe. And you have to stand in the tub to take a shower, so hey. Which actually we did something very unsafe over the time. We had one of those slip things, but then my sister said, no, I don't like this anymore. So we got rid of it. So, hey, guess what? I'm living on the edge. Vin Diesel, Triple X, no bath mat in the shower, so I'm going to slip. Okay. I'm going to slip off there. It's National Blood Donor Month. You know, bloodsuckers always calling me on my cell phone asking, hey, we're running out of your blood. Come give us some more. And I get a cookie. It's nice. Sometimes juice, mainly just the cookie, but yeah. And then we have National Braille Literacy Month. That's something. It is also National Hobby Month. I have hobbies. I collect things. I'm a kleptomaniac. No, I'm not a kleptomaniac. That's stealing. I'm not necessarily a hoarder because it's organized, but yeah. I collect things. I collect figurines. I collect posters. I collect all different types of things, and they all just go over there. It's just like this giant dragon stash. I stash things. That's what I do. That's a good word for it. I stash things. It's nice. It's lovely. I love it. It's great. Awesome. A+, Ezra. So yeah, that's my hobby. I stash things. Also, IRP. Roleplay. I make roleplay, and people request me to do more things with the roleplay, and I always think what's it called? Don't do it right. Oh, well. Hey, I got mind things. Anyways, it is also Hot Tea Month. I like tea. Tea is good. Yeah, it's great. Oatmeal Month. Not as good as tea, but it's good. And Soup Month. Okay, now we're just getting hot, liquid, solids month. Okay. So you got me. Okay, eat something hot. Stay warm. I'm in a sweater when it's under 30. Oh, well. Yeah, you got me. Okay, I shouldn't wait outside of work. Okay, nope. Not going to do this anymore. Okay. Excuse me. But yeah. So, yeah. Over the break, tons of fun stuff. Huge amount of time. Got some work. Did some money. Registered for cons. You know, it's just what I do. Yeah, so hopefully. And also, I missed a lot of days because stuff was going on that I don't really want to talk about. But yeah, you know, stuff is stuff. Good stuff or bettering stuff. It wasn't good stuff, but anyways, yeah. So moving on, we are back for the year of 2018, the year of the dog, which I really didn't pay attention to the Chinese zodiac, other than, you know, the school, they just jump and be like, look at this, and so I'm really excited. There might be puppies in the next coming month. I want to see puppies. I like puppies. But yeah. Or not just puppies, just dogs. I like dogs. They're big and floofy, and they look like tanks. of dogs. Anyways, so yeah, tons of fun stuff going on. If you do not know, the myth of the Chinese zodiac is apparently the Jade Emperor. He's symbolizing like God. He tells animals to race to his temple for, I don't remember the exact reason, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with like the year they get celebrated, which is why one is each year. And so there is a rat, an ox, a tiger, a rabbit, a dragon, a snake, a horse, a sheep. A sheep. Is sheep? I get so confused. Anyways, a monkey, a chicken, a dog, and a boar. And so pretty much, and yes, each animal could be different varieties. Like there could be like a rooster instead of a chicken, a pig instead of a boar, but it's basically the same. As long as it stays in the genus, it should be fine. And so he says, okay, you got to cross this river and come to my temple, and that's when you will pick the order of when y'all get celebrated. And so all the animals like, cool. So anyways, so you may be asking, how does a rat come first? Which, hey, that's my symbol. But anyways, how does a rat come first if he's going up against like a dragon and a tiger and all these other stuff that can easily probably cross the lake? Well, anyways, he's riding on the ox's head because he asked the ox, hey, can I hitch a ride with you? And the ox is like, sure. Because, that's why the ox is supposed to be nice and stuff. So he lets the rat ride on his head, and they go in, and then the rat just goes in first because, hey, that's rude, bro. But then the ox is just kind of like, okay, sure, second place is not bad. And the tiger comes because, of course, a tiger in water doesn't go well, but still, it's a swimmer, I guess. I don't know much about tigers. And then the rabbit, because rabbits are fast. We have tons of mythos and, like, legends and fables about why rabbits are great at being fast. Which, of course they're fast. I mean, I live in Texas and there are rabbits everywhere, like golf courses and stuff, and they're like, zoom! And it's just kind of like, yep, not catching that. Oh, well. And then you have a dragon, which I believe the dragon wasn't first, even though it could fly, because it got distracted by, like, helping people. And the snake came next. It's a snake. It can swim. Right? Some can. Black mambas can swim, and anacondas can swim and stuff. Yeah, it's a semi-aquatic reptile. So, yeah. So basically, okay. So yeah, it's just kind of like this whole snakes can swim. Yeah. So we're just gonna say that, and then it's the horse because horses, they can be fast, but they're not really fast in water, and horses can. If you didn't know, horses are really fragile. Like, everywhere you look, there's like a horse breaking its legs, and then it can't do anything. Because, yeah, poor horses. And then, of course, it's a sheep. Sheep's, of course, is next. Because now I just have this image, like, I'm pretty sure sheeps can swim, or at least a sheep can swim, or at least a little bit. Because they don't ever really explain how deep this river is that they're crossing. But, yeah, I'm kind of thinking, like, what if its wool is like a life preserver, and then you just get this tiny floating sheep? I thought that would be cute. But no, that's probably not what happened. He probably swam or crossed on logs and stuff. I don't know. It's just sheep. And then you get the monkey. And again, something that should have probably made it. But then again, you don't really hear about monkeys swimming. And again, we don't know the setup of how this lake is. And that's the one thing about legends is they don't make sense because we don't exactly know every little detail. And that's probably why it's never been made into a movie. Next to maybe it's just a sacred thing. I don't know. And then we get the dog, which that's one of the things I know. Chicken, which I think flew over because it's a bird. Even though chickens don't fly far, and they can fly a little bit. But then again, hey, I don't know. It gets up on the roof somehow. And then we have the dog, which the dog is what makes me upset because a dog can swim. I've seen dogs swim. I have 4 dogs, and each of them can swim. And they can swim pretty fast. They swim probably faster than I can sometimes when they want to, even though it's a tiny little condensed corgi dog. It's always like zoom out of that pool because she doesn't like water. And that's why having a dog is a pain when you have to bathe one because they're quick and smart. And they suddenly get smarter now that they have a soap coating. And so they're like, no. And so you're just left looking like an idiot because the dog just launched itself out of the bathtub and probably knocked you out. And then you have the boar, which I'm pretty sure the boar fell asleep or something because that's always how they explain it. Just like, fell asleep. It's just a boar. And so it's just like, I made a joke. That's what I do. Yeah. So it's what I do. Anyways, so moving on, we have then more and more little things, and then the J number's like, okay, hey, this is y'all's placing, and that's why every year is something different. Like this year is the year of the dog. Last year was the chicken, the monkey, the sheep, the horse, and then the next year is going to be the boar, the rat, the ox, the tiger, which following this school's tradition, like the past couple of years, like we had a monkey my first year, and then a chickens last year, and then this year I'm thinking is probably might be a dog. I don't know. How are they going to get a tiger in here in whatever year that's going to be? And I'm not going to count on my fingers because that's annoying, which 19 is the boar, 20 is the rat, which that's the year I got to watch out for. 21 is the ox, and 22 is the tiger. I probably won't be here. You don't get Super Chopsticks Radio 2022. But no, yeah. Oh, well, that's their thing to come up with when. They might just get like a guy in a tiger costume. I don't know. It'd be pretty boss to get a real one, but no. Yeah, tigers are endangered species, I think. I don't know. A lot of things were taken off of the endangered species list. But anyways, this tradition in culture is when it's your year, or at least when your year, starting Chinese New Year to the next Chinese New Year, if it's your year, like it was, say, if you're a year of the dog right now, you would have bad luck. Or at least worse luck than you already have. And so a way to prevent this is apparently if you have a family member that gives you something that's red, that's like clothing, like socks, undergarments, pants, like a keychain, a key ring, a ring, jewelry, any type. If you wear it, the bad luck is supposed to not affect you. Because the color red is sacred. And so, yeah. That's actually one of those really funny things about me is that I'm both the rat and the ram, or Aries from the Western Zodiac, which signifies that I am the first place on both, which, I mean, I don't exactly know how the Western Zodiac story formed, but yeah, it's just one of those things that I pride myself on. Not really pride myself, but it's just sort of this funny little thing. And I'm going to play some music for a little bit while you all start resting up, and yeah. And then when that is all done, we will resume with our shows and stuff. So yeah, I'll be right back in just a second. In a second, because stuff messed up. Oh well, first show. It wouldn't be my show if something did not mess up every once in a while. Welcome back. That was Rapture by Panorama Panama Town. That's an interesting band name. Anyways, so basically that is actually has to do with our subject as well as the Chinese Zodiac, because probably the one that I thought was my favorite from the winter season of anime, not the winter because the winter's going on right now, but the fall season, was the Zodiac War Juni Taisen, which is based off the fable that I said earlier about the whole race thing. And basically what happens is this world is set up as it's this giant war all around the world. Like it's World War III, maybe 4, I don't know. It's been going on for at least a good 50 years, or at least more than that, because they keep having every 12 years. Well, actually, no, you can do the math of how long this war's been going on, because it's 12 by 12. So yeah, I'm not good at math at the start of my head, but yeah. But yeah, so anyways, 12 by 12, it's been going on because this is the 12th Juni Taisen, which is technically translates to a Zodiac War. And what it is each family of the 12 people at war will all pick one representative of their clan or whatever, which it's kind of weird because some of them live in like cities. Like one of them is a high school student and stuff. And so, hey. And so that clan's person will don something related to their animal choice and go into this war in like a battle royale to the death. And the last one survives, gets a wish of their own. And each Tyson apparently is different. It's kind of like the Hunger Games. Each of them change every time. Being, this one, they're not necessarily have to stay inside the town that's taking place in. It's in this giant city that they evacuated apparently overnight. Like the people who are funding this, it's just like, wow. And so they invite each warrior in to the city, and they all meet up in this place. And once the thing starts, they can all kill each other whenever they want. Which technically that rule doesn't exist because you can kill someone on the way to the meeting place. Because one of them dies like right before the show starts. And the referee never questions. He's just like, okay, yeah, that happened. Yeah, okay, I see that. You can do whatever you want now. And so the thing about this tournament is they're all told at the very beginning to swallow this poisonous jewel. And it goes like they all do. Well, most of them do. And when they swallow the jewel, he then says, the referee guy, he says, okay, y'all just swallowed poison. You have 12 hours to kill each other or else the poison will kill you. Or depending on also how it reacts to your system, it'll kill you all before that happens. Because I don't remember how long the tournament lasts, but I think at most it lasted 7 hours before people all started biting it. Because it was actually a really quick tournament. Because I guess they didn't want to drag it out too long. So, hey, good job for the referees. Because one of the things about this thing is, if this thing lasted days, it would be so annoying. But yeah, and inconvenient. But hey, they spread it out this city, and I guess they didn't want civilians to die for the sake of it. So, hey. And everyone competing wants to compete in this one. So, it already has a game up there. It's not a revolution story. It's just it's more of a character piece. Because that's one of the things that people were complaining about. Like, oh, it's so predictable. I know exactly who's going to win. I know exactly who's going to die at each time. And then they started making this joke of like, if you get a flashback, that means you're going to die. Which, personally, after the second episode, I knew the order of their deaths. So, hey, that's just me, though. Because it's very easy to figure out which order they're dying in. But at the same time, it's more of a character study for each one. Because, like I said, each of them is a warrior donning just the title of whatever animal they picked. And technically, yeah, their names are also based off of their thing. Because, like, but it's a Japanese name. Because, like, let's see. The tiger's name is Tora. That's the woman who is the warrior. Her name, like her birth name is Tora. So, hey, it's like, gee, that's nice. Or the ox's name is Ushi. And, like, they even say, hey, his name is straight up that. Really? Yeah, and so it's kind of confusing there. At least, like, use different languages to hide it. But, yeah, it's just not going to give this writer much hate because I think this is his first novel. I'm not sure. Because it's actually based off, like, a legit novel, not a manga. So, and it got a manga based off of it when the show started. But, yeah. And it's still going on. Like, manga's halfway through right now. And so, yeah, it's funny. But, yeah. But basically, as I was saying is, I think the most fascinating part of this show is not what leads up, but it's just like the lead up to when they die. It's just like, because each of them has like, for at least the first half, each of like episode features like a person's strategy. You get inside their head and you exactly know what they want to do, how they think they're gonna win. Like each person who says, hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. And the fun part is, each plan seems foolproof. Like, yeah, that would work. I mean, it's legit. That's probably how that's going to go. And so then out of nowhere, the thing comes in and it kills them. Yeah. And so it's just like, oh, okay, that happened. That's not going to work. Who's going to win now? So, yeah. And it's one of those things where, like, you kind of don't want to see. That's also the really fun thing is, each character they give, like, what happens, what they're doing for what they're doing, you kind of get along with them, like, okay, I kind of want you to win now because you have a pretty cool plan. Even though, personally, I knew, yeah, it's not going to work. You're going to be killed now. Because, like I said, it's the whole joke about the second they show your backstory, you're going to die type of joke. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's actually a pretty legit thing. And then they just kill him off in the most unpredictable way possible. Like, okay, you're dead. Um, uh, yeah, it's just one of those, hey, I did not expect that to happen type of things. And it's all really funny. So first, let's explain the characters a little bit, which, again, spoilers. You have... Okay, we're going to go in order of which they won in the original war. You have the rat, who's this little teenage boy. He's actually the character I cared least for, despite being my own sign. And basically, he's just tired. And that's the thing, is like they always show him sleeping. And everyone's like, why is he sleeping during this? This is like one of those things that you're not supposed to be sleeping during. And other than that, he's just kind of like a sassy teenage boy. So, give and take him with a grain of salt. It's just one of those things. And then you have the Ox, who I liked the Ox. He started off like, which was one of those really funny things that the show did. I hated this character when they started off because everyone kept saying, hey, he's the guy who's probably going to win, guys. You know, he's going to win. He's the terrible one. He's the genius of slaughter is what they called him, which it's a pretty pretentious name, but it's one of those titles that if that's your job, I guess that's the best bet you're going to get. And basically he starts off stoic, and then by the end, when it gets to his episode where he's monologuing and stuff, he starts getting like, okay, yeah, this guy's nice. He's a good boy. And then you get the tiger, who... She didn't really make a standout because they don't show her that much in the beginning, but by the time she comes in, she's very well welcomed. Her kind of character is she's kind of angry all the time, but that's because she's drunk. Because her power, she has the drunken fist, which if you don't know, it's an actual fighting technique, but it's not used how a lot of media makes it used. Basically, the whole thing is making it so your enemy doesn't think you're a real threat by pretending you're intoxicated, but at the same time... You're not really, but then most media portrays it as they get intoxicated and then they go and attack, and that powers them up. And that's kind of what she is. But at the same time, she has like this kind of interesting personality, and by the end, she's one of the ones that really seem like you're supposed to root for because, yeah, it's just what happens. And then you get, the rabbit. Where do you go with this character? Basically, he's a dude who's psychotic, which kind of works because rabbits are kind of mean. If you didn't know that, yeah, you know that now. Rabbits are kind of mean animals. And like I said earlier, they're fast, but that doesn't mean they're nice. So he's just basic kind of nuts. You want to be my friend type of thing? And the funny thing is, he's a dude, but they have him like in a Playboy bunny outfit, which I thought was really funny because they could have easily made this character a woman and be like, fan service, but no, they put the dude in it. And I thought, hey, that's kind of a twist, and he's probably one of the more interesting ones to watch. And then you get the dragon. He was one of my favorites. And the snake, which they were kind of a pair because they were twins, and they were thieves, but they're like Robin Hood characters, but they're not like, they don't have the morals of Robin Hood. Pretty much what they did was they stole from a bunch of people and then they gave it away, which is, it's kind of like a trivia thing about it, is dragons and snakes, dragons are horde animals, and snakes are usually said to be the descendants of dragons, so is why they work together and why they're both thieves. And so, yeah, basically, and they also have the opposites, like one is a ground, like he senses the ground and movement and stuff, which is why he's deceptive, and the other one flies, which, again, kind of more stuff. But yeah, and so their personalities they started off as like one-dimensional characters, or at least that's how you're supposed to view them, but then by the end it's just like, oh, they had a nice relationship, and they did stuff for their own way, and in the end they're kind of the most human. But anyways, yeah. Then you have the horse, which, big dude, but you have kind of a gentle giant character, which, and in the end he's kind of the one that was the saddest, the most watching, because I knew, like, the second I saw him, I'm like, okay, and spoilers, I knew he was gonna die. Like, the second this show started, I'm like, that guy's not making it. Because just like, you just know with characters like this, like, yeah, he's not gonna make it to the end. They're not gonna let him survive. So yeah, and so it's kind of sad because he's just there like, I did my best. Like even at the end, he's like, I did my best, and so you're like, yes, you did, and that's good. You have okay, and then you have the sheep, which old dude, typical old dude that you need in a show. It's typically when you have groups of like more, you need like an older gentleman or lady to take part inside the thing, and so yeah. And he's kind of sad too, because at the end you're like, hey, I have a family. Look at me. I survived this long. You should let me survive some more. It's just kind of like, yeah, we should let you do that. Yeah. And then you get Monkey, which Monkey is the character that I thought was going to last the longest after the second episode. Because just basically, she's a pacifist in this thing. And she's like, second, she stands up. She's like, "Hey guys, I can end this thing right now, so we don't have to die." And no one's like, "Yeah, no." And so yeah, and so you just kind of supposed to feel tragic and bad for her because like you see her backstory and like everything that she does, just like I just want to be right for the world, but the world won't accept my righteousness. And so again, yeah, it's just one of those really tough things. And then you get Chicken, which I hate the chicken. Chicken's the worst. Just putting that there. And then you get the dog, which, again, he's kind of like a dog warrior, which surprisingly uses poison, which that's one of the things this show gets wrong, is his whole thing is he bites you and he injects you with poison, which technically isn't poison. Poison is something that you get through consumption. If you consume it, it's poisonous. But if you put it into someone, it's venom. So he's technically a venomous dog, not a poisonous dog, like they say, but kind of misconception, android, robot, cyborg type of thing. It's nothing really to get hooked up on. And then you get the boar, which she has guns, like not muscles, but like legit guns. And then she just kind of comes in. She's like boastful and like, "Hello, I'm a fancy lady." And I hear she gets more time in the sequel, but yeah, it's just sort of this thing. And honestly, I think they did the best they could with these characters. And yeah, it's just kind of this really interesting character study because like yeah, again, you get this whole, oh, this person's gonna win because they have the best plan. Oh, now this person might win because they have the best plan. Oh, this person's got a great plan too. Look at that plan. Oh, that's a plan right there. Look at you. And so it's kind of just like this whole thing, and it's kind of really gets depressing after a while just to like constantly like entertain yourself and be like, hey, this character's great. I mean, almost everything about this is just like, hey, nice, you seem like a good person to win, and it's just like, no. And by the end, you're really disappointed in who actually wins. Who I might have spoiled already. But anyways, spoilers. We're going to listen to some music, and hopefully by the time I come back, we will talk about other things. Because I really want to do trivia on each animal and what they're referencing, but I might have to save that for next Tuesday. So yeah, get ready for that. Because that'll be next Tuesday is trivia and stuff. But when I come back, I'm going to talk about that movie. The one that came out this winter that everyone talks about. So yeah, I'm going to talk about it. And possibly how I would rewrite stuff like this. So yeah, let's get going and begin. Welcome back. That was Prayin' by Kesha. Over the break, of course, one of the biggest movies of last year came out, and that was Star Wars The Last Jedi, which, okay, I'm going to try to avoid spoilers as much as possible. I thought it was all right. I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I enjoyed it. There are just things in it that I didn't like as much. I think the story was smaller this time. Other than a Star Wars, this was more of a Star Chase. Until the end, at least. Well, yeah. Because the basic plot is, well, of course, everyone knows Rey is trying to get back with Luke. Leia and their ship is just, like, running away from Snoke's ship, which, with Snoke, Kylo Ren, and General Husk in it. Huck. I don't know. The British guy with the red hair. Guy who I don't care about as much. But yeah. So he's like chasing them and they're like, hey, we're running out of fuel. Where are we going? We're just trying to run away because it's like the last ship in the rebellion. And I was like, where? How do you only have one ship left? I mean, it's just kind of one of those things like, how different are the timelines? Because Force Awakens ends with Rey handing Luke the lightsaber, and then it opens with like this giant space battle, and like half the fleet is already gone that the rebels might have had. I don't remember. And so, with the rebels like gone and away from like, it's just like, where did this come from? Where did all your people go? And so, and then it comes back, it goes to Rey and Luke's just like, takes the lightsaber and throws it to the side, like, no. And so then he walks away. And again, that's one of those things I saw from a mile away. And so the rest is just kind of like Luke and Rey doing like this weird Rashomon effect between how Kylo Ren decided, hey, no, I'm going to destroy the temple, between Luke's first telling, then Kylo Ren's telling of the story, and then Luke's second telling. And I actually think the Rashomon effect goes really good in this movie because it's a Akira Kurosawa type of technique, and that's what Star Wars is based off of, Akira Kurosawa's Hidden Fortress. So that was kind of a nice nod. It was kind of just like, yes, good job, Star Wars. You did something very nice this time around. You did something actually wonderful this time around that I actually really liked. And so the rest is just like Rey and Luke. And the stuff with Rey and Luke is the best part of the movie. It's just like, I love seeing Mark Hamill as this character. It's fun. Since I've been born, he hasn't played Luke Skywalker, which is really nice. So then, yeah. Definitely Mark Hamill seems like he's caring about the universe more than Harrison Ford does. And the thing that I really didn't like in this movie was actually the thing you're supposed to be more concerned with, which is the space battle and the ship running away. Because, one, I don't like Poe Dameron in this movie. I thought he was fine in The Force Awakens, but I really don't like him in this movie. He is so annoying. Like, I mean, of course, I understand where he's coming from, but like the entire time he's just like, there's like this scene at the end where it's just like Finn is looking out into the battle. He's like, they have a sonic battering ram. And then Poe's like, they have a sonic what now? I'm like, how do you not know what that is? Like, I mean, I'm not a Star Wars universe person, but I'm pretty sure I can put together what a sonic battering ram is. But yeah, and again, you're supposed to kind of get this personal growth of Poe, but I just didn't like him in this one. It was just kind of tired of these rebellious, I'm a flyboy character, especially when the stakes are as high as they are this time, where the rebels are about to get wiped out. And then you go into probably the other really thing about the movie is Rey and Kylo Ren's relationship, which, again, the action-wise, this movie isn't as filled as I thought it was going to be. I mean, of course, there are Star Wars inside it, but it's not as... The action seems very rushed. Like, the main battle in this one is between Rey and Kylo Ren versus the dudes in red. And the fight was good. It just seems like it wasn't on as big of a scale as it could have been. Like, it's kind of like A New Hope in that way. And even then, like, the ending battles are just, like, rushed. Because they say, like, hey, we're going to have this, like, ship battle between us and the sonic battering ram. And they decide, no, let's not do that. And then it looks like Kylo Ren's going to fight Luke. And it's just like, no, Luke's just going to dodge the entire time. Which, again, spoiler free, he has good reason, but yeah. So yeah, you just get all this stuff. And then you probably get, in my opinion, the most disappointing thing about this movie, and that is, I forget his title, but he's Snoke. Supreme Leader Snoke. Okay, since I said his name, I remembered his title. First things first, Supreme Leader? That's his title? Which, yeah, I don't care for the title that much. And then, two, why do we keep screwing over Andy Serkis as much as we do? I mean, dude played Gollum and he played Caesar, and now it's just kind of like, yeah, we're not going to do much with you. Yeah, we're just going to, you're too good of an actor. You're going outside of the other people. And so the character's kind of weak in this one. Like, there's no depth to him. He's literally there to add depth to other characters. And the same thing goes with Hux. The same thing goes with Phasma. They're just there to make it so Kylo Ren seems to be more in-depth than he actually is, which I'm kind of iffy on Kylo Ren's character because I understand what he's supposed to be. They're kind of with the trailer and his design got too Vader-y. And so, of course, with this one, they're just kind of like, lose the mask. We're going to make people realize that we're too much like Vader. And so he's just like, okay. And so they smash that mask. It's just like, it was like, okay, I guess they solved that issue. And so, yeah. And so they're trying to make him tortured, which can work and cannot work. One, being too much like Darth Vader brings up, like I said, he's just a rehash of Darth Vader, and that makes him not interesting. But kind of mixing him with the original Anakin Skywalker is kind of what they try to do in this one. Because, again, kind of like, especially at the end of the movie, it's like watching a 5-year-old throw a temper tantrum. Except he has giant robots that can shoot things. That's basically what it felt like I was watching for a little bit. I mean, the tension's high. I want to see things succeed, and I want to see the rebels get out of there, and I want to see Leia get out of there, even though I don't know how they're going to handle that in episode 9. But yeah. So yeah, it's just kind of the basic end. It's just kind of like watching Kylo Ren like, yeah, okay, you're existing. And so, yeah. He just keeps getting bested, which kind of I get is frustrating. But yeah, it's kind of like, this could be written better. But other than that, it is kind of, I wasn't that mad that they changed things with the Force. I'm okay with like the Force, what they're doing with it. Like, there's so much things you could do with like this power, like this life force that's around. And most stories have this life force. Like One Piece has hockey, and that has 3 things you can do. You can observe things better. You can take out large amounts of enemies if you're a conqueror. And you can create a shield, an impenetrable shield around you. Which, yeah, it's great. It's 3 things you can do with it. And so Star Wars, with as big as it is, and as big as a mythos it has, like in our world, it has so much expansion. And of course, Disney said, nope, this doesn't exist. Sorry, guys. Still, the stuff that you can expand on is really nice. And so this is kind of like trying to add things to this Force, the literal Force, that's, for the most part, really mysterious to all of us. I mean, or at least it just may be mysterious to me, because they even say, okay, yeah, it moves rocks, and it's kind of like telekinesis. That's how I'd explain it. It's like telekinesis. But no, it's more than that. It's like this life being. And they try to explain it, and it gets really zen. And so, yeah. So things are different. And now I'm going to get to where I think it could go after whatever happens in episode 9. Because this is me shooting into the dark of what could happen afterwards, or at least how I would handle it, of what happens after Force Awakens. All right. So anyways, so yeah, so it's like this big thing. And so I'm thinking, whatever happens at the end of episode 9, whether it be Kylo Ren joins the Resistance and they're like, okay, we're all good now, or they destroy him in the First Order, whatever happens, I think afterwards, the next set of movies should take a pretty, it's not like a giant jump wherever they need to go, but like maybe 20 to 25 years after episode 9. Not big enough so like the actors are ancient and like they are in this one, but like enough that there's a nice spread of what's happening. And I think, okay, so you know that the galaxy, they've been overrun twice by a giant evil government empire or First Order. And I'm starting to think people are probably going to get upset about this. I mean, the Stormtrooper is such a thing that's always been around. It's always like taking over and like making things like bad. And you see literally in this one, like with the casino scene and stuff, how it's affecting the universe. And I'm kind of thinking people will probably be fed up with all of this by now. And so cue our bad guys who aren't necessarily bad guys. I mean, they're basically this organization of what they see as freedom fighters. The rest of the galaxy can also kind of see as terrorists. And basically, they're going against Rey or Finn or whoever's deciding things. And they're trying to make it so the order of whatever isn't getting high enough that they can accidentally be tricked into another empire or first order, because we don't know how the first order started. We don't know how it got so big that it did this. We know the empire got big because the Jedi and Palpatine came to power, and he tricked everyone into destroying the Senate and making it so that there's just one empire ruled by him, by Palpatine. And so people know that, and probably if we do get more information on how Snoke rose to power, we could get that too. And so this group, their morals will be questionable at best, because my thought is they will have like a Snoke Palpatine character, but she or he, I don't know, whoever they decide to have the person be, is much more like their ideals aren't as dark side. Like, be more purple side, because, it'll be like in the middle, and they're a huge threat to either Finn or Rey or whoever our main older person is, whoever's taking Leia's place after Leia is gone. Bye. Whoever would take like Yoda's place. And so this person will also have like assistants who will be like Darth Vader characters. I mean, there should be more than one, at least two. Probably like a boy or a girl or mixed. And they won't necessarily be like Darth Vader characters or Kylo Ren characters, because their emotions aren't going to be really what pilots them. I kind of like to see an entire enemy that's just willpower. And that could kind of be seen like as something that the Palpatine or Snoke like character, which we're going to call villain with quotes, because that's the antagonist, creates or like takes away parts of their will so that they'll just be perfect warriors, and they'll be like victims, or their families are victims of like the First Order, like kids whose parents were killed by the First Order, or grandparents, or they were enslaved by the First Order or whatever. Or because you see like in this one you have that whole thing with DJ on the ship in Last Jedi, where he's just like, oh, this person, they worked for the Empire, the First Order, and the Rebel side. And so, kind of like people probably start thinking about this being like, okay, I'm kind of upset about that. And so with what they create, there's the villain antagonist will put together like these two, and they'll be the enforcers who are like basically blinded. So one, they can't overthrow the antagonist. Two, they stay on track. And like, I kind of see one just like being an angry, murdering person who just like kills people just for like legit reason, like doesn't even like realize they're doing it, just like stabs and stuff, and just be that thing. And the other one's kind of just like sort of like that, but not as intense. And I kind of would like them to be like cyborgs, because we have tons of cyborgs in the Star Wars universe. Vader's a cyborg, Luke's a cyborg, Grievous is a great example of a cyborg, even though I don't like Grievous that much. I just didn't see anything really that to get about him. And I think like it should also be like their minions or whatever are also not like troops, like stormtroopers. They should have like, they should have their own look of like the people who work for the antagonist, but it's not like a uniform, like where they're all like expendables. Like every person you see is something at least a little bit different. Like kind of like the rebels in Rogue One. Like, they all had like, they kind of looked enough that they could all be you can tell they're all part of the same group, but they still have like different features, like different alien species. Like, why are humans the only ones allowed to be stormtroopers? Why? It shouldn't work that way. And so, it should just be something kind of different. And so there's not like a clear good guys and there's not clear bad guys. I mean, yes, it's enough so that kids can know these people aren't the good ones, but at the same time, it's not as blue and red as it's always been. It's just like, oh yeah, the Jedis are good and righteous, and the people who follow the rebels are good and righteous, and the Empire is bad. It should be like, you should be able to kind of think both sides, being like, hey, yeah, you're right, these people make good points. And throughout the story, it's just who are we going to agree with, who's going to be kind of this thing, and it's just going to be like this giant thing. And I want to take this entire thing of like anyone can die. Because the thing with these later ones is you kind of know what's going to happen. That's one of the things that's always been about Star Wars, unless they're really old mentors. Or especially in the prequels where it's just like, yeah, I know this person's going to die because they're not in the sequels or they're not in the original trilogy. I want to make this one like open ends. And this may be like mean of me to say, but I really want to see someone like destroy 3PO. It's just like about him, like he's in every movie. And yet also I have nothing against Anthony Daniels. I think he's fine. I think his voice is nice. He just exists. I kind of just want to see like 3PO just getting like chopped in half and just like, okay, that's the end of that. Or like that's the end of his reign, because he's kind of just served his purpose of he's kind of exposition. It's always been kind of his purpose. I mean, also R2 maybe, but R2's always been one of those things that holds the universe together and stuff. But I wanted like anyone who's still alive, like Poe, he's open-ended. He might be taken out. Rey could be taken out. Finn could be taken out. It's just like one of those things where Star Wars, you're not going to expect it. You're not going to expect each and every little thing that's going to go down. And I think, yeah. It's just one of those things. Like, it could be much different, but at the same time, it still has that Star Wars feel to it. And that's kind of what I want to see out of the universe after episode 9. Because with how they're going right now, they can end it how they want to. I mean, I don't know if this is a trilogy with Finn and Rey and all them, but I'm pretty sure they're going to. And that's just kind of how it's going to be. So, yeah, I kind of hope that's just how I think it should, the next trilogy, if they make another one, it should be kind of like that. So anyways, yeah. It's just basically my thoughts, how I thought this should be. And yeah, of course, as per usual, first time this season, that's my opinion. I will be back Tuesday at 2 o'clock to continue my discussions over what I like to discuss, and hopefully you all join me then as well. Views expressed on the show are my own unless otherwise stated, not reflect the opinion of KDUX Web Radio, Richland College, or the